Simple and plain this morning. Who divided America? Come in, come in, come in. What y'all got going on in America? Let's get this camera work. I was gonna go out into the city, and I said, nah, it's too rainy out there for me. You know, the rain make you lethargic and laid back. What's going on? Two of y'all in here, man. Double tap that stream. Let's get this started, man. Let's get this conversation held in America. You feel me?
What does Airbnb federal?
What does it? Make sure y'all take the poll as y'all coming in too. Who divided America? Godfather, what's going on? Politicians divided America to maintain their own power. True indeed. True indeed. What's up, Godfather? What you got going on today? I'm chilling. I was gonna do the live downtown. Seemed like it might be a storm or something, so you know what I mean. Fools rush in. I don't want to run down there and get caught up in the goddamn twister or some shit. What's up with you though? Okay, living the dream. Okay, what's going on in the motorcycle world? Smash that like. Who divided America? 6 of y'all in here, man. Let's get them likes up as you come in. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's America's deepest division? Somebody tell me. So far, Godfather says politicians divided America to maintain their own power. Is anybody in agreements with that or have their own hypothesis? Who want to take a shot at who divided America, fam? We're going to make it simple and plain today, you know. Motorcycle world is the place. Okay. Is it sort of like when everybody was wearing them bass fishing hats? A lot of people had got into fishing and never had, you know what I mean, an inkling about fishing. By way of wearing the clothing, it done turned a lot of them on to the fishing. Doing any riding today, fam? Smash that like, y'all. 7 of y'all in here, man. Greatly appreciate it. Let me see here. And ain't nobody say they running for president yet on either side. Ain't this kind of strange? The only thing Trump does is divide the nation. Can you name the last thing? What's going on, Moach man? What's up with you, fam? Is it cloudy on your side? Ian, what's up with you, Ian? Smash that like. The topic of discussion, as usual, who divided America? You know what I mean? Earthling on YouTube. Can you name 3 reasons? Yeah, that cloud, man. I was about to hit the marina too. And parlay do my live stream. Then I said, nah. You was off yesterday, rolled for about 7 hours. Wow, you was getting it in. You probably felt like Rambo when he was driving that. What was Rambo was he on a Honda or Kawasaki when he did that shit? When he got that on the First Blood. Smash that like, y'all. Most man, What you think about that new tunnel that from Hampton to this side of town? That's crazy. They putting a lot of billions into that. We are the people. We are the power. We are the one that we've been waiting for. We still be this. We can make life wonderful. Don't fight for Trump or any other jerk off. Fight for freedom. Who is this we Earthling on YouTube? I don't know if I want to commit myself to it. Okay, he was on a Honda CB350. Okay, okay. Right, fam. That shit crazy, but that shit is dope the way they did it though. That shit is dope, man. That's like one of the new wonders of the world too. I seen a documentary on that shit. That shit is like it ain't everybody ain't got one of them. Smash that like y'all. Did y'all see Donald Trump say that he might run for president again? Akeem, what's up? Chilling, Akeem. You know how I do. You know what I'm saying? Just cooling off, fam. How's your day going, Akeem? You working? You off? What you got going on? We are the people. We are the power. You know what I'm saying? Who is this we, man? Okay, off the day. This politics. What you about to barbecue or something, fam? About to chill out, barbecue some shit. Okay. You better get one of them AI lawnmowers. Mulch man, you got one of them in your organization. One of those robotic lawnmower joints. I was on Atlantic Avenue in Chesapeake. Right there, as soon as you come over the Rebel Tracks, I seen a dude using one of them shits. Him and I guess that was his assistant was just standing with there while the AI lawnmower robot was cutting the grass. Smash that like y'all. Remember all the car engines and the lawnmower engines were easily to fix. It would be nothing to see your dad or your uncle or your homeboy or your local shade tree mechanic to be under your car on the weekends. Like now, shit. Salute, Ian. That's what it is, family. We out of YouTube jail, y'all. Smash that like. That's what it is, Ian. Salute, fam. Y'all light that up, man. Thanks for that super support, Ian. Yeah, I was about to get out today and do something, but it's too cloudy, man. Can't chance it, you know? Maybe later on today, though, know what I mean? Okay, the one, is it the ones where they call it that spin? Know what I mean? Is that the jump? Yo, remember everybody wanted to get that fucking job? Um, Cleaning up the parking lots with the blow shit, and then the Mexicans popped up and they start taking all those jobs. That should pay money around here. They sleep in paying taxes, and where they heal at. The Queen Mother paying taxes where people heal at, family. I was supposed to go to the beach today with my booze. I was supposed to take my booze to the beach today. Well, it's cloudy. I usually do my own auto maintenance by now, just take it right. Because, now everything is closely associated with electronics and all kind of shit. Shit is closely associated with electronics. But remember that everybody used to fix their own lawnmowers, their car and shit. Motherfucker, you hear that? Now you hear torque when you. Shit, you got if it's especially something you love to do, you know what I mean? A healer is one of a kind, family. Remember that. It's one in a million that you find somebody that's genuinely a healer. Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. I was in YouTube jail because they said I was doing this shit so cool that seemingly they had to see if I was AI, dude. A medicine woman. Yeah, I stay with a medicine woman. I mean, because I'm a medicine man. I'm dealing a bunch of, you know what I mean? Heebie-jeebie. Kurt. When God has his hand in your life, it doesn't matter. Okay, Kurt, I'll go for that. You say you too old. Yeah, yep. Hey, my homeboy though, he got he's a mechanic, right? But he got the whole gas station at his house. It's in his backyard. This shit look dope. He got the joint where you can raise it up, the hydraulic joint, all that shit, man. Yeah, everybody used to have one of those wooden boards with the wheels on them in their yard, underneath somebody's car. I know, but Yoder just, you know them Yoders, them damn Yoders, either they're Mormon or goddamn Mennonite. They all the same, selling ice cream. Smash that like, y'all. Yoder is probably Jonathan, man. You know, they create all these aliases, man, to cause chaos and mayhem. Smash that like, y'all. Who divided America? Oh yeah, this dude been up here before. Yoder. Yep. Straight goddamn old ass nutcase. He drunk. Yep. What's going on, Yoder? Ian. Yoder's drunk. What's nice is all these aliens only help drive the channel. That's so crazy, Ian. I mean, and I'm trying to get it back up. I mean, so y'all double tap that stream also, fam. It help the algorithm. Hey, Ian, what you got going on your side of things? There is another young man that has been violated. What's going on with you? Insatiable. What's up with you? You know, y'all know it's another young man been violated. This young man, I think he got stabbed by foster kids, and he was a foster kid. It's just enough, man. We have a problem with our young youth. Did anybody know anything about that? The other young man that just got stabbed by two foster kids, and he was a foster kid new to the home. We got to do something about this stuff. We got a problem, man. It is not a white or a black thing. It's a youthful. These youth need guidance. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Have you read The Fourth Turning? X by Strauss Howe explains exactly what is happening right now. Published in '97. No. What is it called? The Fourth Turning. Let me see. Give me a brief synopsis on it. What's the fourth turning? What's happening right now? Smash that like, y'all. What's happening right now? The fourth turning. That sounds dope. Can somebody give me some Information on the fourth turning. Is it okay? The cycles of history. Okay. Is this the book right here? You said it's accountability thing. I go for that. We cooling today, family. Too much rain. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be a storm here. That's why I ain't go out and get in it. It's supposed to be a light storm. Okay, we'll start a whole new chat in when we talk about that, because that's gonna bring some different kind of perspectives. Right now, we gonna run with this who divided America, because that needs to be discussed, man. But that'll be a whole new live stream. You feel me, with the Nolan stuff. I got to make sure that my soul is ready for it too, because a lot of times when we deal with these racially charged topics, it be grimy for me, man, because you find yourself speaking up for your peoples, and you know what I'm saying? It's like crazy. The people that are out there, and you know, it's like being a vessel. When you fill your mind up with it and you combat that type of shit, some of that slimy shit, I mean, tries to stay around. So, you know, you got to get yourself prepared to deal with people that are, you know what I mean, emotionally, racially, you know what I mean, charged up in general. Smash that like, y'all. Yep. And then they keep giving me these violations on my shit, like I'm doing something or saying something that's, I don't know, but it might be some hate though. You know how that shit go. Anything successful, somebody will try to find a way to either latch on to it and make money off of it or get rid of it because they hating. You know what I mean? That's why, you know what I mean? Like I said, like when we deal with these topics about like race and stuff like that, they are controversial topics. Got to be careful. You know what I mean? Because some people get the wrong impression. I hope we don't go to war. We need this administration out. You mean a war with another country or with ourselves, fam? Yeah, that's how I feel about dealing with folks calling my hometown a sundown town. I mean, it's definitely used to be, but it ain't. Oh yeah. So who calls your town a sundown town? The people there. And then when the last time y'all had a racially charged incident? Ian, smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. It's 11 of y'all in here. Let's get us on the other side of 100 with them likes, fam. What's going on with y'all today? How's your Saturday? Is this the book right here? Who was talking about this book? The Fourth Turning. Is this the book, fam? Ian, can you see that book I got posted? Most parents just think it's a phase that their kids are going through and do nothing to help them, and they escalate something much bigger. Okay. Right, like Johnny, you know, that's the same thing I went through when I was a kid, and you never talk to them. It mainly is the communication. A lot of times they don't communicate with their kids. But it's a problem with our young kids today, man. A lot of them are like throwing their lives away. It's no more rap music. They really doing it. Like this shit crazy. It's another kid. He's been stabbed, killed, or something happened to him at a lake area. Foster kid. Can't think of his name, but I'm pretty sure it'll get plenty coverage. Heard anything about it, Ian? But yeah, the most parents want to be young now. Now it's all folks who don't live here who call it a sundown town. I was just a kid. I was hanging out with black kids and working with them. Okay, what kind of industry do y'all have there? Roofing, or is it they got like a sharecropping industry there also? 14 of y'all in, man. Double tap that stream. Let's get them lights up, man. America's deepest division revealed, man. Who divided America? Was it Jew? Was the Jew that divided America? Would you think they're messing with the commerce by them labeling your town as a sundown town? Do you think it's running away a bunch of big business from maybe coming there, bringing a factory or two for that whole area? Because I'm pretty sure if your town is a sundown town, shit, 50 miles this way, 50 miles that way, everything's probably considered a suntown area. It's everything here, family. Factory, manual labor, young kids in grocery stores. It's small town, but there's a lot going on. Okay. Hey, have y'all noticed that now it's a shortage in the big cities and the suburbs, the rural maybe, but it's a shortage of summer jobs because a lot of companies are going out of business or shrinking up. There are a bunch of 7-Elevens gone, Burger Kings, KFCs, Starbucks, Taco Bells, Del Tacos. A lot of those companies are shrinking out, especially 7-Eleven. And it's leaving a vacuum of unemployment. Mankind divided everything, says insatiable. You said you guess it was you. You got blamed for everything. Damn. Mankind divided everything. What's going on there, Ian? When the last time y'all had like a dope ass festival? With Brooks and Dunn showed up. I blame the higher minimum wage. Okay, can you further explain that, Nick? And how's your day, family? How's your day? Can you further explain that? A higher minimum wage. And insatiable, you're right, to a certain extent, mankind. I'm telling you, it was a time when America was strong, family. It was strong, and like in the 80s, even with crack and AIDS and, you know what I'm saying, new coke. I mean, we were strong. Still was Ford tough, remember? Ford tough, y'all forgot about it. Because nowadays, Ford is speaking Spanish. Forente. Formente. Uh-oh. Assad came in with the Israeli flag. That's what it is. I don't think it impacts our commerce much because we're still growing. But I can't even tell people 30 miles away from me where I am without getting the side eye. Wow, people 30 miles away from you consider y'all town off limits? Even people, even white people? Company and business have much higher overhead now, yep. And especially if they're doing some importing, exporting. That shit through the roof. Through the roof. Smash that like y'all, share me out. But is that the book that the somebody was talking about right there? Anybody see that book? Yeah, I might take it to the slave jail. My next venture out, besides the passing out water, and the next time I'm gonna pass out water, it's gonna be the next hot day, and I'm looking at maybe Tuesday. It says it's gonna be 92, so maybe Tuesday I'll go out on the water mission. You know what I'm saying? Right? Somebody just came in here and was suggesting it. Can you see the book Insatiable? Somebody just was suggesting that. That's what's going on right now. Evil hip hop, evil hippie. What's going on? I would say a melting pot is inherently divided and takes work to remind people of their common cause. Meanwhile, adding a fuel to the fire that is part, you know what I'm saying, of normal human behavior is much easier. Evil hip hop hobby. Nah, evil hippie hobby. Let me stop messing with. Evil hippie hobby says I would say a melting pot is inherently divided. It takes work to remind people of their common cause. Meanwhile, adding fuel to the fire that is a part of normal human behavior is much easier. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a sign that sat on private property near the interstate that said, "Don't let the sun go down on your back." There's no real proof it ever existed, though. But but you said once upon a time it existed though, Ian. Did you ever see it? And they got rid of the proof or what? Smash that like y'all. Okay. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. What about now? Somebody said something about a value meal. Let me see. The high minimum wage did have a lot to do with a lot of entry level positions. Was not long ago when you got a value meal for $3, and now we are paying more than 10. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Remember, you could get a value meal for less than that. Remember, hamburgers was a quarter, and cheeseburgers was like what 30 cent. You said sundown towns definitely existed. Evil hippie hobby. Now, shit, a value meal is like $20, and especially if you're near a high tourist area, they price gouge. And then if that city is, know what I mean, up on its city, they don't have a food tax also. What's the food tax where y'all live at, y'all? Is it 10%? 5%? What? The hot food tax. That's why you can't buy hot food with SNAP because SNAP is no taxes on it. So hot food has to be taxed. The hot food tax. Smash that like. Ten of y'all in here, let's get them lights up, fam. We also remember when minimum wage was like three. Yep, yep. I remember when it was on 350. 350. But you know the dollar was worth a dollar back then, or damn near 80, 90 cent. It wasn't the same dollar that we spending now. So that 350 was it had buying power. It wasn't just a pump. That 350 wasn't no pump. It had mad buying power. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the dollar ain't got no buying power. It's taxed. The dollar is taxed on some shit. It ain't got no buying power. I mean, but I remember when 350 would get you a whole lot. And see, that's what you got to understand when you talk about money. You got to understand that each president, when they come in, the dollar has a certain buying power. Just think about everything that you can buy with a dollar, and it'll tell you how much it's really worth. Okay? Remember when you can go get a candy bar, a soda, and a bag of chips for a dollar. Now you get a dollar is taxed on something. Right. I mean, you got to know the power of the dollar. Every time when we was back when we was in the 80s, a dollar was like shit. A dollar was like $5. You understand? Now today, the dollar is the new penny, and the $5 bill is the new quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're trying to institute that $250 bill with Donald Trump face on it. How can a sitting president have money on their face. That's going against what the people said, right? Nick, a lot of people come in here and say that shit, not understanding the real issue is that the dollar changes every time a president come in, especially if they change the Fed. If they fuck with that Fed shit, I wonder if they get some of that interest, like middle managers do. When they save the company a lot of money, they get a big bonus, and you don't get shit. They get a bonus. But what's so crazy, minimum wage shouldn't even have to be tweaked. They should be able to pay everybody a fair wage in America. We the richest country in the world per se, personal income. And I ain't talking about millionaires. I'm talking about we have a lot of successful middle class. Our middle classes are millionaires now. If y'all ain't quite on, the new middle class is millionaires because it's people that have billions of dollars now. So the new middle class is millionaires. Smash that like, y'all. Good, John. What's up with you, fam? You say Democrats in the 60s started that trend, my G. Mm-hmm. Yup. $2.10. But like I said, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even up into the 90s, that dollar was different. Think of all the things that you could buy good junk when you was a kid with $1. Now, shit, you can barely pay tax with $1. Buy something for $10, that shit is $1.15 tax. That shit come up to $11.15 or $11.10. You like, what the fuck? God damn. Remember when they first started doing that tax shit? You know what I'm saying? When they first started doing that, like really getting in on when you go to the store, you be counting your change, motherfucker, say $3.15. What? I paid $3.06 yesterday. That's when you knew something was going on. You remember that shit though? Just, you know what I mean, lightly. You went and bought something and you was used to paying one price. I remember when these shits went up. Remember these shits was 99¢. Remember these shits was 99¢. These games. And remember they were bigger. They were like 2 cigars in the pack. And they were 99¢. Now they shrunk them down. And now they 2 for $1.29. And that's crazy. They tax every motherfucking thing, family. The draft and the Kent State massacre. What was the guy named that did the Kent State massacre? Shit, y'all better be worrying about the draft now. Everybody that's 43 and under. If you 43 years old right now, they trying to come get you, especially if you've been playing Call of Duty all day. And you can't lie and say you ain't been playing Call of Duty because there's no more discs. All your shit live stream. Y'all notice that shit? It's all live stream now. Shit is all live stream. Ain't nothing. You don't have a hard copy for nothing. You don't own shit. They slowly taking away the wealth, but you don't understand it because that's the things that we consider wealth. You know, a bunch of equity, cars, houses, and you know what I'm saying? They slowly taking it away. Even the little shit. Like I said, everything now you gotta stream it. You can't go look for a job. You gotta fill it out online. Remember you used to have to flat foot the shit? You had a piece of paper marking down the jobs. I went there. Did you go there? I went there. Now you go in that shit asking for a job. They either gonna call the police, think you casing the joint, or they gonna tell you go on our online site. You know what I'm saying? It's because everything is on with investment firms. Yup. IPOs and shit. They need to see an increase in profits every quarter. Yep. And if you maximize your sales, then you have to cut costs every 3 months. Wow. The company I work for gives out generous bonuses. The last bonus I received last week, I was called to the president of the company to receive it because of the size of it. God damn. See what I'm saying? So you must be a skilled worker. They need you, Godfather. But a lot of these people that are in these high recidivism jobs, and nothing's coming. This is the result of raising taxes. Fucks up everything, right? But you know, a perfectly run city is a city that has taxes on damn near everything. Y'all are aware of that, right? Y'all, anybody ever lived in a city that was considered in the top 10 um ran cities in the country? You notice that the number one thing that those cities do is tax everything: parking, garbage. They'll have two different kind of sanitation. They'll have the sanitation, and then for the cleaning the water and all that shit. Then they'll have the sanitation for coming to get your garbage can. They'll have that. You have the HOA, and then you'll also have the city trucks driving around, inspectors looking at people's yards, and even people that's in the HOA and just regular citizens, and looking at how you storing and everything, and cars in your yard, all kind of shit, man. What happened in Nolan? Who knows, fam? Who knows, man? Who knows? You're supposed to be doing a different stream to discuss that, but I mean, I don't know, man. They say his throat was missing when they sent the body back, the cadaver, to get autopsy. The trap of the left is that if you care about equality or freedom, then you have to love taxes. If you don't like taxes, you have to live with the scary poor whites. Shit, it's scary poor blacks. It's scary poor Chinese people. We got to stop boxing ourselves in as Americans, man. And we got to live with each other, man. Win, lose, or draw. The only thing I say is I don't like the Democratic Socialists. The main thing I don't like about their program is they want to tell you that you can't get rich. And if you get rich, you're going to be the one paying for most of the damn the bill, footing the bill. You're going to be the one footing the bill. They take from the rich. So what happens as the rich, they spend money, money spend. What happens when you spend all my rich money, okay? The next person up that managed to get some finances, you'll take theirs. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Mamdani in New York, I think he a test. If he can work in New York, they'll put a Democratic Socialist as the president. It's like a whole, you know what I mean? You'll never know how something work unless you implement it. Because he just so something, man. He's like LGBTQ, definitely in my opinion. He's like he all kind of shit, man. You just be like, we got to be careful, y'all. Smash that like. I'm telling you, we got to be careful with these people, man. And they're coming out of nowhere. The Democratic Socialists, you know, it's so many different factions of those people, man. It's the Democratic Socialists that are like neo Nazis. They're you know, then it's the Democratic Socialists that's like really into all this kind of stuff, Camus and oh my God, Camus and all that stuff. And then it's the Democratic Socialists like Mamdani and them. I call them coffee table politicians because they learned all this shit in high school and college, and that's all they used to stand around and smoke weed and talk about. And now being older and being exposed to politics, they have a chance to implement some of that stuff that they used to have constant debates about and all night sessions. Some people even married their opposition because of it. He was such a beautiful mind, she said. You know that weird shit. But them motherfuckers too. It's so many different kind of Democratic Socialists, and they don't have nothing to do with Democrats. That's what y'all gotta know. Like y'all know the Heritage Foundation don't got nothing to do with Republicans. It's straight pushing the philosophy of the Project 2025 type of shit for their data and analytics. It's no less like a junior CIA. These Democratic Socialists don't blame the Democrats. The Democrats needed, you know what I mean, firepower. They needed soldiers. They needed pamphlets handed out. They needed a fresher, newer look and some fresh minds in the game. And to compete with Donald Trump and the military infrastructure that was springboarding off of the Republicans. So don't blame the Democrats, because some of them too learned that shit in college and it was already cool and acceptable. But they don't fucked around and let the Democratic Socialists get a foothold in American politics. LA, and DC, Chicago, even not the vibe is there, because remember those ladies that were supporting Trump? They was on some Democratic Socialist stuff, maybe with the LGBTQ plus. You know, they non-denominational. LGBTQ plus is non-denominational, and they are among every organization on the planet. I mean, do I think Elon's happy? No. More money, more problems. Investment bankers and data creators are going to cook us alive for profit margin. I think that's why the heat going up. They turning this chip on we living on now. We living on a microchip. They turning up. Yeah, Elon, more money, more problems. But if I was Elon, I'd make a clone, like 10 clones, and just let them go do their thing and chill. I'll go get somewhere and lay back, man. I make 10 clones, get in the lineup with them, and we'll all just go our own way. Nobody will never know which way did he go. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if Elon is happy. He should be taxed heavily. Yeah, he should, Space Dust. What's going on with you, Space Dust? Did you get over there and play that guitar yet? I'm telling you, most people with money is unhappy because everybody trying to lift you of it. You know what I mean? Everybody trying to get some from you, and you got to keep it. It's just so much dealing with money, man. Money, you know what I'm saying? And then and when you got money, if it ain't somebody you brought with you, and probably even them sometimes, you don't know whether the person is around you because you got money or they fuck with you genuinely. That's what's one thing about it. Even being successful sometimes. And that's why you see most people that are successful become loners. Because if it ain't their close family or confidants, they don't have a lot of people around them. Because the more people around you, I mean, the weaker your, I mean, your charisma fades, but your power may exude if your money is, you know what I mean, large. They might not respect you, but they'll lie to you to get some of that money, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Right, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I told you. Like, a lot of my viewers are older people that, they kind of scared of the internet in the first place. So they up here expressing themselves. And then there's a lot of older ones that they want to do it, you know what I mean, all on YouTube. I have most of my success on YouTube. That's what I was telling you about and on my websites. So, you know what I mean? Let's stay tuned, Space Dust. Maybe we can do some partnership with this website I'm working on called Who Divided America. And it was gonna be All Rise, but with anything, I googled the domains and shit, and that All Rise, you know, that shit been gone. They've been using that, but so we maybe, you know what I mean. But me too. I was a little apprehensive on Discourse too, because you know what I mean. The more you leave your digital footprint on these places, man, you just never know. And then you want to be, you know what I mean. It's like Cheers. Some way times you want to go where everybody knows your name, and the more you latch on to these sites, the lesser and you know what I mean. You spreading out your power. Iranian invasion began. Pentagon started using AI for targeting systems, and Elon became the first trillionaire. Right, but listen, he lost his job at Doge and became a trillionaire, and nobody noticed that. They said that he was going to be a trillionaire in 10 years. They said SpaceX promised him to be a billionaire a trillionaire in 10 years. Shit, that 2 weeks later, this motherfucker a trillionaire. And then, you know, right after he was a trillionaire, the stocks fell. So he ain't even a trillionaire now. Somebody check that. I don't even think he's a trillionaire now. You know, they keeping it Paquito, but I don't even think Elon Musk is a trillionaire. He was a trillionaire for what, a week? I don't think they should pay. I think they should pay what they owe and nothing more. Not even heavily taxed. They should pay whatever they owe. We can't fault the billionaires. I mean, we got to fault the politicians that we elect and the people that's in charge of the money. We can't fault them. Because if I get up to that point, I don't want you telling me I got to pay. That's what you got to realize. And a lot of times we'll have that kind of thinking because we feel like we'll never get there. I mean, even if you ever had any amount of success, I mean, you should understand at their standing point of dealing with the money too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody becomes successful by cheating somebody more likely when you're dealing with, you know what I mean, corporate America, dude. Whether they billionaires or a thousandaires, man. Right? Because that's his, you know what I mean, his range. He's a trillionaire, so that's his range. You don't expect a trillionaire to be doing shit at Howie's hot dog stand, taking numbers. You expect a trillionaire to be on some heliport, going to get on a high power helicopter or something going to Antarctica. That's his. That's, you know what I'm saying. That's his budget. You understand? So of course he would be doing things globally. That's what I'm saying. Is he gonna turn out to be like a arch villain or some shit? Hey, I think but y'all, are y'all aware that he leveraged half of y'all 401k plans through a hedge fund? That's what he came to Doge to get all the right information, y'all social security numbers and all that, right? And now he's using your money to fund SpaceX mission to Mars. He's using everybody in America's 401k. You know what I mean? Is invested. Right, Godfather. You can space dust. You can cheat code yourself to unlimited wealth. Get in the algorithm. Some way or somehow get in the algorithm. You know now, I mean, but now they got their goal propping up SpaceX. Now they propping up SpaceX with that money. Smash that like y'all. Yeah, Elon Musk, man. He came and got fired. Who gets fired and then end up with a goddamn government contract that makes him $1 trillion? Smash that like. The governments need to tax the fuck out of the obscenely wealthy and use that money for healthcare. Shit, the government ought to supply us with healthcare anyway. The government need to supply us with healthcare. Bombing Iran is not America first. It's not Iran first. It's BP Oil, Aramco, um, the Donald Trump cartel, the family business. Smash that like, y'all. They already spent, yeah, they spent more than 40 billion. They spent way more than 40 billion. And then they was willing to give the Iranians $400 billion. 300 billion, then another extra 100 million for something else. That shit is crazy. For what though? Like it makes no sense why they did that. Yeah, way more. But why? I have three different index funds. I also hold individual stocks in certain companies and physical gold. Where's me gold? 40 billion a year will provide housing for every homeless citizen. Space does $1 billion a year of provide housing for every homeless citizen. But a lot of people are not homeless out of not having a home. You know what I mean? And not having money because there's a lot of people that get checks that's in the streets. Remember they used to send out the blue check or the green check depending on whether it was mental health, it would be a blue check. And if it was disability, it would be a green check. Well, y'all aware of that? But anyway, a lot of times the blue check recipients are homeless because that's where they feel more comfortable out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Man, HUD is a gimmick, Space Dust. I know you don't believe nothing that HUD is saying, do you? HUD is a gimmick. It's a con game, and it's a monopoly. The only people that prosper dealing with HUD is the chairman of the board, and you know what I mean, maybe middle management might be able to secure 30 years of employment and get a house out of it. But HUD is some bull, man. HUD is some bull. I I say the as city for city do more. I mean, with the HUD is also connected with them, but I'll say the redevelopment housing associations that's in my area, they do a little bit more than HUD in unison with HUD, probably using the HUD funding. But HUD is some shit, man. Estimates of statistics provided a once legitimate housing agency isn't bullshit. Yes, it is, because you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. When they go do a census, they never even know what the truly population is, because there's like millions of people that will hide and not get counted by way of they don't want to get the other people put out when they knock on the door and say, how many people live here? It's only supposed to be 3, but it's really 5 or 6 or 7 people there. So they will only name the 3. Do you know that? Like a lot of that census stuff for HUD and everything is lazy people that's giving a estimate of it, never doing the real groundwork. And you know what I mean? It's a whole community of homeless people or disenfranchised people that don't have homes but they live with their family and stuff. None of that stuff ever gets counted. This country got more people in it than, I'm telling you. They count people by way of how many people on the lease. This country have so many people in hidden of all walks of life. It's a hidden community of people that live in their car in America, man. Sleeping in their van, their truck. Working, I mean, making $100,000 a year. Working jobs. A lot of people are homeless because some people fundamentally have a hard time doing paperwork and understand the steps you have to take. No, a lot of people are homeless by way of mental instability. You know what I mean? Not because doing the paperwork. Somebody will do the paperwork for them. A lot of people is homeless because they mental, and they'll get all the funding. There's a lot of the mental people. They'll put them in a home or put them in a nice apartment, and next thing you know, they'll be back out on the street with a shopping cart. You're like, what the hell? And they got a whole apartment somewhere. Or remember when they would find a lot of homeless people, like whether we had a harsh winter and a few of them would be found dead, 1 out of 10 of those people would have an abundance of checks on them. Remember that shit? They'd be like, we found her, and they had 50 Social Security checks they never cashed on them. Like, what? Well, at least in my area, there used to be a lady that used to take one of the bus terminals and make it her little spot. She even turned the garbage can was a metal garbage can. She even turned that into like the wood fire joint, and she used to be set out there bundled, and she never say nothing. She did a bunch of grunts and looking, but nobody never fucked with her, and people used to pull up and like hand her shit. She was the person that used to get handed shit before the white guy standing over by Chick-fil-A, and all the people pull up in the Tesla and hand him that bag of Chick-fil-A. She used to be that girl. She used to be standing out there in the morning. And one time, a tractor trailer turned the corner and turned over on the inside. I'm telling you, and flattened that lady, killed her. Like how the witch had the feet hanging out underneath the house, Dorothy house. That's how the hell that lady, like. And when they found her, when they got her body, she had a bunch of Social Security checks on her that she never cashed. I mean, she didn't have to be out there. She wanted to be there. I was talking about giving people free houses, Godfather. I'm talking about simply providing adequate shelter. But then, if they give people the free housing, somebody will come in here and say, they're giving my taxes and my stamps and stuff to people. A lot of Americans don't want nobody to get free housing. And nowadays, free housing is what? It costs you $200-300. Nothing's free now in the projects. That's what people got to realize. The projects ain't free no more. They charging in the projects. Trump and the billionaires. So what happens when they finish paying for it, Steve, with their money? Who money you think they're going to use? It's supposed to go to it anyway, space thus far as we know, right? A certain amount of our taxes go to the homeless, don't it? They already doing that now. A certain amount of our taxes already going to the people, fam. Shit. And they got non-profits and all that stuff set up. They got the YMCA, all kind of Salvation Army, churches. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't got no men's shelters in y'all area. What's up, OG Kicks? Shit, we got men's shelters. We got apprenticeship programs and get yourself right on drugs programs, all kind of stuff, man. OG Kicks, what you got going on, fam? Wow, space, that's crazy. Now we got facilities where can house men, and they got opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I will say that in my area, we got. You know what I mean? It ain't the best, but you can work with it. Smash that like 15 of y'all in here, man. Let's get us on the other side of 50. We on the road to 100 in this live stream, fam. What's going on with y'all? Who divided America? Oh yeah, what you about to go do, kids? About to get ready to go to work? Yeah, remember the YMCA with all the the YMCA always been creepy to me. Like, okay, work smart, not hard, family. You know what I'm saying? I just received 22K bonus after taxes. I received barely 14K for my own handiwork. Okay, damn. So that was they took shit. But they took 30%, 33%. Democratic socialism. What's the difference between socialism and democratic socialism? Skip Woosman. I like that. Skippy. What's the difference, Skip? Tell me. I know there is some differences, but you know what I mean, socialism is socialism, right? It's just a different form of socialism. You know what I'm saying? Like sort of like the red and the white communists, the Bolsheviks. Trotsky was a democratic socialist. Stalin was a red communist. You know what I mean? They both had their birth in people like Engels, Nietzsche, Marx. A lot of people associate Camus with it, but Camus was more on do or die will. Live your life. Don't let shit stop you. Do what you do type of cat. You know what I mean? How'd you like paying the taxes on that all that bread? No mercy. What's up with you? I know 45-year-old man who had multiple sclerosis and they won't help him with shit. Wow. Lived out of his shitty old Jeep. He's in too much pain to work and they won't even give him disability. Why? But you got to look into that story. Does he got his paperwork right? Has he been, you know what I mean, fighting for it? Smash that like, y'all. But we'll let you get back to the hood, fam. Because right now, you're fired. Most people don't understand the difference between socialism and communism. True, true. And you know what? Socialism is what communism is in its birth. And then in the end, communism even turned into some kind of like the worship of the cult of the personality. Especially like when you look at the instances that communism was implemented in like this the Soviet Union, not Russia, the Soviet Union. Remember when Stalin was in power, it was the cult of the personality. It was more of what he felt. You know what I'm saying? Even when the Mao Zedong Little Red Book, which has a lot of people that consider themselves democratic socialists in America, that's what they had. They cut their teeth on reading the Little Red Book from Mao Zedong and like I say, all these other little shits like Marx and in high school and college they sat there all day drinking tea and smoking weed and talking about this shit. You know what I mean? P&G, peace, peace, peace. What's up, P? What's up with you? What you got going on this weekend? Have you been checking out that joint called ATF? P&G about a lot of father. Have you been checking that joint out? Right, Nazis were democratic socialists to be exact. Because wasn't Nazis the Democratic Socialist Party? Smash that like. As well as Mussolini was a fascist. And both of them used to be closely associated. When they fell out, the people that wanted to get rid of the fascists that had deeply ingrained themselves by way of Mussolini's influence on Germany, they were called the Antifa, the anti-fascists. Not the ones that these disgruntled little American kids are. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I've never heard of it. What network does it come on? It's the one I sent you about the Clarence the 13X. Ace, what's been up with you, Ace? Greatly appreciate it. What's good with you, Ace? What you been up to? P&G is the one with the it's ATF. A lot of fathers. You remember the joint I sent you about the 5%ers? It's a whole AI type of miniseries. I'm gonna send you the link to it, family. Socialism is all companies are workers control and workers own the means of production within a capitalistic framework. Them socialists just aiming to have a strong social safety network. Devious Chris, Democratic Socialists don't want you to get successful. They want to take from the rich. What happens when the rich money gone? They're gonna get on your money. I don't subscribe to Marxism, but capitalism needs limitations. You can't have a handful of trillionaires on the whole world. We need robust social programs to help Americans. Why space does? All I say is get some of it. Trying to control it is too late. You know what I mean? Nope, the Nazis only used the term socialism to gather voters in regional areas. A handful of trillionaires in regional areas. The socialists were targeted and arrested by the Nazis. Wow. Oh. Nope, the Nazis only used the term. I would go for that. I would go for that, y'all. But the Nazis, you know what I mean? A lot of people use a bunch of terms and they know they ain't with it. A lot of people say they're MAGA. They know they ain't fucking MAGA. A lot of people say they're Republicans and Democrats. They're not that. They just, talking points. But the Nazis, you know what I'm saying? They were a group that had its it was deeply in the heart, the fatherland. They wanted to bring back pride. They were a nationalist, shall we say, prejudice group, because it wasn't racism, because Jews are it's not a race. Actually, we like to call it's not a race. The Jewish people that was in Europe, it was not a race of people. That was their ethnic and their religion. Chilling. The problem tree. What's up with you? Oh yeah, I checked out a couple of more of them when you said ATF. My mind immediately thought about a show dealing with the law enforcement hit the flow. You better hit the flow, P&G. We train. That's how we train, man. To think military minded. Anything with 3 letters, they got to be about to kick your door down. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we've been trained, family. Military minded. Create your own business and grow it, family. Why don't you want robust social programs? Because with anything, somebody gonna want to be in control, family. All that stuff sounds good on paper. When you're dealing with humans, and that's what I specialize in, dealing with humans. Humans are subject to error. You feel me? So now I don't want no. I want to be able to get my money, so I can go do what I got to do. They believe that they were the Aryan race, Ace. But this is what they gotta go check out. You know what Aryan means? You know what Iran means? Iran means the land of the Aryan people. The people that took over after the Persians. They are more likely from the Azerbaijan, Georgia, the country, Georgia, um, Sarajevo, all the little Caucasus Mountains, that is where they're from. The Aryans. The Iran means the land of the Aryans. Okay? So they when they thought about that Aryan stuff, I bet you the Germans knew, but they never thought nobody was like, yo, what is really a Caucasian? You know what I'm saying? Hey, the name Aryan, I mean Iran means the land of the Aryans, fam. I sure am okay with my neighbor starving. I mean, you got to show me the willing to feed yourself before I even help anyway, family. Show me that you willing. It's not a matter of empathy. You know what I mean? It's only the strong survive, fam. If they're not eating, you got to look at why they're not eating. You understand what I'm saying? That's why everybody's saying you got to start sweeping around your own front door. If you say you're not eating, go find out, eat. You know what I mean? In Persian, it's etymology of Aryan or Ars, noble. Exactly. Kubota is high. What's Kubota, Godfather? Kidoba. What about the single moms and babies, dude? Yo, I got enough problems trying to feed my own babies. I mean, you know what I mean? What do you mean? What about the single? You gotta start having so much empathy and get yours. You know, in your prosperity, then it will only, you know what I mean, trickle down to the people that need it. So get prosperous and then do your proper, you know what I mean, to the, you know what I mean, give back. What about the moms and the babies? What I noticed you didn't say what about the fathers. You understand? No matter what color they are. What about the fathers? You say what about the moms and the babies? Smash that like. What about America, dude? All of America. What's cold space does? What you talking about? That you know what's so crazy? When a person tries to weaponize their feelings on somebody else, you saying it's cold. That's what I believe in. We should all have our own opinion, right? You can't. I don't know your demographics. I don't know who you're speaking on. You might have never even been to the hood. A lot of y'all wear y'all convictions on y'all sleeves and don't know nobody in the hood. Don't know nothing about the hood or nothing about. I mean, you only know what you read or what you studied. You ain't really go through nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have this strong conviction on so much. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Huh? What? Okay, okay. Kuboto. Are they in your area with it? Are they in Georgia, Godfather? But you understand what I'm saying? You'll say, oh my God, is that how you feel? Huh? Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? Obi-Wan Kenobi, let me put a jacket on you. You're back in the house. What's up, family? You got a lot. Well, I'm gonna say this, Space Dust. Whatever your convictions, I mean, you can't weaponize them against somebody else because they don't feel that way, family. Space Dust that doesn't understand. They start with everyone all over the world, right? And he'll understand do for self. That's how I was raised. Do for self. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. But first of all, helping them out ain't gonna do shit because once they get up out of the health, once they get out of poverty, how are they gonna maintain middle class or lower income? Because poverty then comes lower income. You got to give them. You know what I mean, you don't need to give them no money. Put them in the trade school, give them a job, not give them no money, dude. No, they don't need no money. They need a way to, you know what I mean, to get the money, like all Americans. Generations of folks that buy jeans with pre-made holes, the illusion of a worker, that shit kills me. Further expound on that, Russell. These motherfuckers do pay a bunch of money for some ripped up jeans. You be like, what? The problem tree is always stop locally because ignoring the plight of your locals leads to civil unrest and revolution. Right, don't give them no money. Give them education. You know what I mean? Don't give them no money. Show them how to go get some money because once you give them money, they always come back for money. That's all. That's why they so trained on welfare and subsidies, and that's in all cultures. Anything free because the motherfucker rather go get something free as opposed to having to work for it. But not knowing having to work for it make it seem a little bit more worth it. Motherfucker give you something, all you gonna do is expect it, and then when it don't come, it's gonna hurt you like you're having a baby because you expected that shit to come, and then when it don't come, everything that you do when you do get your little extras, you can't do it. So that's why go get your own, create your own money stream. No. Man, are you talking about the babies and the kids? It shouldn't be no homeless babies and kids. If you got there can lay down and have a baby, you should be able to provide that child somewhere for shelter. That's what the parenting do. They ain't got nothing to do with. I mean, don't be out there fucking if you can't take care. Okay, Godfather. That Kubota. They about to go get it. Shit, we had a handicapped president. Are you aware of that? And with that being said, handicapped people can't get no job no more. The DEI stuff don't shut that down. But we had a handicapped president, so don't tell me, you know what I mean? There's some limitations out there. Not really, because some people are moving off of $600 a month and surviving. So don't tell me, you know what I mean? Some people are surviving off of $600 a month. And in this day and age, there's so many ways to make money off the grid. You know what I mean? Go buy a bag of socks. Sell some socks. You know what I'm saying? Sell enough of them, you'll get back. Go do DoorDash. Go, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's surviving. Surviving. Think about what surviving means. When somebody survived, it was a lion attack, crocodiles, falling out of an airplane. You know what I'm saying? Lost in the jungle, lost in the desert. You know what I mean? Military. Surviving, yes. Bare minimum. Surviving. It's people surviving off of $600 a month, dude. Space Dust, what's your demographics again? What state you in? You in Ohio? People are surviving, dude. Education and healthcare are staples of democratic socialists like Scandinavia and most Western countries. My kids both had industry credentials by the time they finished high school. Okay. Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay because I'm not the one that set the rules, so I don't have no convictions of everybody's collateral damage. You got to stop thinking like we living in God and leave it the Beaver world. This is the real world. Every last one of us is collateral damage. We're getting the bare minimum handed to us, but we can get all of it. Know what I mean, and we get out here and get it. Create a niche. Stop crying about it and go create a niche for yourself. There's so many things and different ways to get money. So many different forms of money that you can get. Do you listen to this OG that's in here, Space Dust, Godfather? Do you see how many investments and his mind is a virtual, I mean, stock market. How much investments and long-term goals he has already set up 20 years ago for himself. It is possible. You know what I mean? A lot of times we'll gripe and we'll complain, but wait, don't you want to save the people? Shit, what about you? I ain't heard you mention your name in none of this shit. Get yourself together, man, and that'll serve the best impact to help us because if you fucked up and you trying to help somebody fucked up, both of y'all gonna be fucked up. So all I say, Space Dust, to cut it. Just get yourself together and make sure when somebody that needs something be able to call on you, you can meet that call with a helping hand up, not with a, you know what I'm saying? There are so many homeless people in USA. The drugs flooded into our country. It's hideous. Not every homeless person is on, but not every homeless person is on drugs. Like I said, it's a great deal of mental instability out here living on the streets. People are in their minds. I ain't crying about it. I'm just not soulless cretin who thinks it's acceptable to allow. See how you try to speak, put that in their space, does? It's always well, knowing like anybody that says something like that, space does, they ain't getting shit. So stop sounding like a victim, dude. The people when people say stuff like you just text, they ain't get it be always the ones that ain't getting shit. Get out there and get it, family. Like I can't explain it to you. You kind of old, so you should already know. So it sounds like you got a lot of conviction, but you ain't doing shit. It be motherfuckers that ain't getting shit and motherfuckers that ain't doing shit that always say stuff like that. This stuff, what you saying. But what about the people? What about them? What have you done for them lately? Nothing. But get on the BMC and complain about your convictions of trying to save everybody, but you ain't did shit. See what I'm saying? I told you, it's always people that's surviving. Talking like this. And sometimes you got to take that shit in your own hands, my G. Cannon, Raw, what's going on, family? Chilling. What's up with you, Cannon? How's your day, man? Shout out all my peoples, know what I'm saying? With the anchor, the globe, and the eagle on their arm. That's what it is, family. Thank you for your service, Cannon. What's up with you, fam? Cannon, you think Donald Trump is running with the military industrial complex? Salute those space dust. You gotta understand, man. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. Okay. Smash that like. Cannon, do you know a lot of your brothers that are homeless right now because of maybe PTSD or other things that happened to them when they was doing their service? Or just not even get the adequate funding. You know a lot of homeless military guys. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Because what's so crazy, a lot of people in my community are not homeless. And they be trying to make it seem like that my community is just the worst community. The Old Testament and New Testament of the Bible stress the importance. Who is still reading anything that's built as old and anything new has to be a scam because this is the age of the scam. So the Old Testament and New Testament has no bearing on my life. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, they told me at the meet. They told me at the bus terminal. You can go to my when I gave out the water at the bus terminal. The first thing in the first 5 minutes that I was there, somebody told me that they can't give out. I can't give out water on the terminal. I can't give out nothing free. I got up. I was just about to interview a white guy named Dave. He had a sign in his hand. And I got up, I handed him a water, and I went and handed out about 8 more and on my way out. And then I went over to where these kids was politicking, and I handed them some water. Yeah, they told me that when I went to I'm gonna be passing out water probably Tuesday coming up too. If y'all wanted to support the BMC e-bike foundation, we use part of the water foundation out of the e-bike shit. Because the e-bike, we was looking at a $700 now that ain't shit for an e-bike. I might just go ahead and cop the shit. Yep, I was on the streets of DC for 3 months, and there are many more who like me in the streets. Wow, Candy. Hey, Candy, when you was in DC, you ever came across the Ivy City Hotel? Man, in the brochure, if you online, that shit look like it's dope. We went to the Ivy City Hotel, and so much was going on, man. Me and my lady, we had went to the weed festival one year at RFK. Man, the Ivy was something else, man. That shit need a mini series. Smash that light. Yep. He is in bed with the military industrial complex. He even gave his own son's company a $65 million loan for a startup. Yep. They did that 3 days before they did the fucking the Iranian stuff. His son and his son-in-law got the drone shit popping. That's crazy, ain't it, Chris? But that's what they do. Nobody ain't listening to Joe Biden, but Joe Biden said it the other day. He said, shit, Donald Trump is goddamn playing. Tennessee made it a felony to be homeless. Up to 6 years. That's how they get that jail labor, too. Godfather says, I grew up poor and everything I have I earned. I got myself educated with marketable skills and built my own life and set up my own children to be successful as well. Salute, Godfather. And that's the only way to do it. Do for self, fam. Never been there. Was that Mandarin Orange, which is pretty nice. But I was working for a company picking up clients from there. Okay. You said once your service is over, they forget about their end of the contract. What do you say about that, Cannon? Do you say the America takes care of their veterans, or is it on the veteran to follow up on their information and keep up on their benefits? I say anybody that was a veteran should be getting way more subsidies and being taken care of automatically. But that's our, you know what I mean? That's the norm in America, seemingly to abandon our old folks. Can you imagine how many old people was abandoned and lost, not knowing what was going on when we was going through the pandemic? So many older people, and then the pandemic had damn near went Wi-Fi. A lot of people is in these communities are still on the regular TV shit, satellite. I mean, antenna TV. Why are so many messed up people in our country? One must ponder. We have so much education, the mental health awareness, material goods, but yet there are droves of druggies with nowhere to work. Is it easier to camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God? All right, Godfather, you about to get out there and cut that grass. But you know, in Rome, your service was 40 years damn near. You are aware of that, right? That your service in Rome would have been 40 years. And that's speculation too. Smash that like, y'all. I don't know why they always put Rome as the pinnacle of like pre-European dynastic society. Because if you do your research, Rome was like the United States. It was, you know what I mean, a multicultural setup. You say you about to pay somebody to do it. They give you benefits such as I am 30%. It took me almost 9 months to get it. Just like the government, everything's slow. And if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. Wow. So, because I know people with 100% or 75%. Does it depend on what you're asking for it, and do they count PTSD as one of the reasons you can get it, Cannon? Right, so they say, man. You know the Romans they adopted a lot of their shit. They didn't invent too much. They adopted a lot of Greek ways, a lot of African ways, a lot of you know what I mean. Wherever they went at, they incorporated and absorbed. You say psyops divided America. I believe it to a certain extent. Rome gets props because it spanned 1,000 years under three different formats as an empire, adopting a lot of the Greek concepts like democracy. Right. Well, a lot of concepts. They even had the societies of Isis and different pantheon of gods for all over the world where they interacted with, or all over their known world at the time. But I just know that they always attribute anything old and European to the Romans. The Romans did this. The Romans did that. Come on now, the Romans built up Europe. They, you know what I mean? They'll say the Romans built this wall in England, so because they can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like the Romans did it. I refuse to claim PTSD. At that point, it will make me 100%. But then they can take away my pupils and say I only could work so many hours a week. That'll put a lot of restrictions on. Okay, got you. Ain't that crazy? So in order to PTSD meaning you might wig out and then not be able to. So I respect that you feel like your right to bear arms is. I mean. Yep, war is a racket in the military. It's muscle, as Major General Smedley Butler put it best. Yep. Appreciate you too, Kenobi. That's what it is. Canny. So, do they even give you a discount on your meds for PTSD? And do they acknowledge that it is there, but it's not one of the things that you're going to claim? So, because a lot of times, they know that y'all suffer from PTSD, do they still provide you with adequate, you know what I mean, rehabilitation from that PTSD? People forget it was called the Greco-Romano Empire. It goes back to Alexander. Alexander ain't got nothing to do with the Romans. Alexander was barely Greek. He was damn near Turkish. He was closer to Macedon is closer to Turkish than Rome. Rome was out of the Etruscans, which was some people from Northern Africa and Africa. They never gonna tell you that. Salute, Candy. I would rather stand and fight than be submissive on my knees. That's what it is, family. After his early death, his four generals split up to the four corners of the known world. Kemet became Egypt. Sumer and Akhenaten became Mesopotamia. Greek meaning land between two rivers. For sure it does. The Tigris and the Euphrates. But you're right though, and to a certain extent. And Kemet or Ikibulan or Ethiopia is Ethiop. You know what I mean? Became Africa as a whole. But I'm familiar when you say the Ptolemies and the people that Darius, King Darius and them peoples. I mean the Ptolemies out in Egypt, where they get all the Cleopatra's. It was more than one. For many years I self-medicated. I was a mess. I made the conscious distinction to stop and got my life in order. And about 15 years ago. Okay. So now, would you say you were better for it? That you know what I mean? And what was that one thing that made you take that leap of faith, Cannon, to say, I'm tired of this shit? Was it a blow up or maybe a breakup or lost your job or what was it that one thing or just a hit rock bottom that you found yourself sniffing aspirin or some shit? What was it that made you say, fuck that? I'm about to get Cannon together. Smash that light. Space Dust says, I always been a blue collar guy working paycheck to paycheck with just enough to get by. I would rather my fellow citizens get my tax dollars than to be using it to bomb Iran for no good reason. You do realize that even if it's a Democratic Socialist Party or whatever, Iran is going to be bombed by your tax dollars. Because for whatever reasons, every year of the fiscal, they're going to decide whether it's guns or butter. And it ain't always been guns. I mean, they're very rarely do they give out butter, family. For many years, I mean, you say you're self-medicated. Okay. You know, I knew it was decisions, but I read the disturbance because it might be just what you wrote. Smash that like, fam. We're at 29 right now. Can I get you all 29 of y'all to double tap that stream? Shit. You say drink water with my Ray Charles looking ass. Hold on. I'm going to take that in consideration. Now that was some good advice. That was some good advice, fam. You feel me? You feel me? Smash that like. It's more profitable not to get along. Charlie Kelly, what's going on? You said Israel divided America. That's what it is. Came to the realization I was going to kill myself and I wasn't going to be another statistic. So I bought the system and said, okay. Did you do this all by yourself or you had a strong backing by your family? Steve, what's going on? Hello, my fellow Americans. For those that serve, I thank you. Salute, Steve. What's good, family? Steve, what you got going on today? I don't see how that works, Gooch. You are aware that the U.S. Marines existed way before Israel, right? Chilling. What's going on, Austin? What's up with you? Shout out Austin Blunt. Chilling. When did this happen, Gooch? Smash that like, y'all. Shout out Ace too for that super support earlier. Ace, and let's see here. Okay. Ian, as usual, always doing this thing. Salute and always graciously appreciate it. And Ace. Shout out Ace for that super support earlier, fam. How do you say that Israel hasn't divided us Americans, funding everything they do? If it wasn't for us, the country wouldn't be a. Israel isn't the Jewish state, family. That's just the state religion. Israel is a conglomerate of all the people that got pushed out of Europe, not just people that are that we call Jews. Yeah, I'm doing good, Austin. How you doing, man? A little bad weather here, the rain. Yeah, Israel ain't got nothing to do with Americans being divided. Yeah, it's 70 degrees cloudy here. Smash that like, y'all. But that's on both sides. That don't mean that they own the companies. That means that they doing good business. Politicians, that's how they make their money, by the people who lobby. You know what I mean? And because if you believe all these politicians are doing shit just for Americans, they're doing shit for wealth. Ask Donald Trump. They're not doing shit because they want to save America. Man, that Jewish conspiracy theory shit late as hell. They're just that tiny hats. They don't got no more power. The power is in technology. They done booted them out the way. They done managed to be able to put the decimal behind them no matter what they say. Man. It was all me. I had an absolutely no family support and came to the conclusion no one's going to help me, so I helped myself. I have renewed my faith and got my head out of wow, Candy. I'm proud of you, family. Wish it. And so, how many years have you been sober? Wish you nothing but success, family. See, that's the problem with it, Meek. You say you heard it. We gotta stop hearing shit. Maybe it might be true, but if you heard this, maybe you heard something else that don't even gotta do nothing with that, and you'll say, I heard. You know what I mean? You bring a bone, you'll carry one, family. First Rhode Island Regiment, 1778, first free black revolutionary soldiers. Okay. Well, you know any prominent names were a member of that? Was Prince Hall a member of the First Rhode Island Regiment? And were they fighting out of that they slave masters didn't want to fight, so they sent their slaves to fight in their names? Was it one of those situations? Trump in bed with more than Netanyahu. Netanyahu was the face of it. Y'all got to know it. What's Netanyahu's wealth? You notice that he ain't really making no money. Netanyahu is the face of something. You got to know it. Right, but you know what I'm saying? But you got to know it. Netanyahu is not the face of thing. He's just the face of it. Like Donald Trump is just the face of it. He's not running shit. You know that, right? He's just a mouthpiece. And how many clones y'all think Donald Trump got? I think Donald Trump got like, because he got different clones for whatever situation. You know what I'm saying? He got clones for when he around tall people so he can look like he's tall. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Who divided America is the topic. Plain and simple. Who? Well, I mean, shit. What if he is? I said clones. If he was a shapeshifter, he wouldn't need to have a clone. The clone is so somebody can't whack him out. I mean, sort of like Uday Hussein. If Uday Hussein had 4 or 5 clones, I know Donald Trump at least got about 10 of them. And Meat Machine, what's a shapeshifter in your opinion? Can you tell me what you would consider a shapeshifter? Smash that like, y'all. There were several situations of slaves signed up, they will become free. It also consisted of Native Americans and free blacks. Okay, but no, with the slaves becoming free, you know that was on the British side, right? That wasn't the Americans that did that. The British used that as a tactic to turn the slaves against um, the Patriots. 10 years of going strong. Salute, my brother. Salute. You do know that, right, Charlie Kelly? It was more the British by way of Cornwallis and them was offering that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them did it and went to Canada after. I mean, so they didn't get no backlash. Yo, the BMC Discord is popping right now, y'all. Y'all get over there and run it up. Congress just passed $1 trillion military budget, which includes merging American. I saw that, Charlie Kelly. I saw that last month, and I did a live stream on it. Nobody said nothing, but I thought they was going against that shit. That shit supposed to link our military, all our data on citizens, all of that shit. Ain't that crazy? That shit is crazy. There is a technology that uses like a liquid crystal display that is being used by whatever those things are to change their appearance to our eyes. It's super advanced technology. Now I go for it, Meek. I believe you. I believe you. But it's the question of, I mean, do you believe it? You know what I'm saying? And have you ever seen one of these people, Meek Machine? Wow. You said Mitch McConnell was dead. Just the other week, I was at a Prince Hall initiation for one of their young new members, excellent group of brothers. Okay. Cannon, what part of the country are you in? Yeah, one of my cousins is a Prince Hall. See, you gotta tell me if you ever saw one before though. Have you ever seen somebody do it? Not no pictures of it. Have you ever seen somebody? That shit is crazy. I saw it coming. They was talking about it last month. Israel linking our military. It makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense. We probably got a lot of missiles in Israel. Okay. You used to watch The Land Before Time. You used to watch The Land of the Lost too. You gotta stop. You used to watch The Land of the Lost. Remember the Slee Stacks? It was the brown ones and the green ones. The green ones was the friendly ones with the jewels and shit. You got to stop watching The Land of the Lost, man. Smash that like, y'all. There was a Land of the Lost show. Yeah, the 90s that had straight up reptilians. Nobody remember. That's what I'm talking about. It was in the 90s. That shit was in the 80s, the early 80s. The Land of the Lost, man. I used to watch it every morning. They had the Slee Stacks. Meat. That's what I'm talking about. They had the two different lizards. One was brown. No, well, that was the remake. But the original Lands of the Lost had, it was the dude and his daughter and his son. It was white water rafting and some shit, and they end up in this canyon. They had dinosaurs. And they had a hairy, supposed to be subhuman by the name of Chaka, which means fire. Chaka, I mean, was with them. Yeah, yeah. They had the boy, his sister, his daddy. They had the little hairy dude, Chaka, and the two different lizard people. And they were dealing with the portals, like time portals, or interdimensions. Yeah, the Slee Stacks, Steve. Remember the Slee Stacks? It was the brown ones and the green ones. H&R Puff and stuff. Yeah, you old school. You was watching the new Zoo review too, with Henrietta Hippo and them, and that frog. The new Zoo review. Remember the new Zoo review? Yeah. Go to my channel, man. Hold on. I got a link to where I did a They Live spoof. Let me drop the link to it. Cause that's one of my favorite movies, man. Roddy Piper, that fight scene with him and the dude. Look, hold on. I did a They Live joint. Let me find it. I'm gonna drop the link in here. But yeah, Roddy Piper, him and the black dude, that fight scene was hell of a. Yeah, I was about to go do a live stream in my area, but it seemed kind of cloudy. Sometimes fools rush in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, here go my take on that They Live. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, fam, here go the joint right here. I did a spoof on it. Hit that link. The Slee Stacks, yeah. Texas, my Blue Lodge is in Lorena. I'm Scottish Rite Lodge of Perfection, as in Southern Jurisdiction, Waco Valley, and 33rd degree Scottish Rite. Are you the worshipful master this year, Cannon? Rah, brother, rah. Are you the worshipful master this year, Cannon? Yeah, that link right there, y'all check that link out. That's me, my take on the They Live movie. Freemasons are the golem of the Jews, the hidden hand that actually does the deeds. Why you say that? Two story. You say all out of bubblegum Charlie. Smash that like. I'm not a traveling man, but I know a lot of people that live by the compass and the rule. I'm not though. I'm not gonna claim that. Though I live on my square though. Smash that like y'all. Smash that like. Who's gonna bankrupt somebody's family? Smash that like y'all. Anybody go over there and check out that movie right there that I just dropped? That video. My family is doing all right for themselves, so I am. So yeah, keep on believing the conspiracies. Cannon. So you being a Mason, and I know the truth on it. I mean, but Would you say you never experienced any conspiracy theory? Because I know a lot of people that's Masons, they never experienced no conspiracy theory stuff. Oh my God, is that for real, Charlie? Because I'm about to end this shit. Is that for real? Is that for real, fam? Is that true that Trump just said he was going to run for president in 2028? What's going on, lunching out? Smash that like, fam. Austin, I was in 1999 to '07. Time and a half years in combat. You could guess on that, brother. I was in the Marine Corps Infantry. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. But does you know what? I'm gonna run with that. I think that my next live stream, that's what I'm gonna be talking about. Trump is gonna liberate us from the pesky burden of elections. Trump President Secretary said Trump calls his own supporters basement dwellers, and they just still support him. Mm-hmm. Well, I think Trump got the guns behind him. That's why he be snapping out. You got to be snapping if you got the guns behind you. He's a member of uh, the military infrastructure. industrial. He's going to patriotically serve a third and fourth term before gracefully passing the presidency to an appointee, is what the funding fathers would have wanted. Wow. Sons and Snowball are sabotaging the Fletcher pool. Soros and Snowball. Who is Snowball? You think horse manure kill the pond, kill that shit family? Horse manure, I ain't never heard of that. Wow. Why you wish Zohan? I do not want a Democratic socialist as the president. I think a bunch of Marines. I think as a Marine you have to get your sniper pin, don't you? And that's nothing, because Trump ain't done nothing for black people. And don't you dare say he gave some money to HBCUs. HBCUs are ran by white IPOs, and not that many black people go to HBCUs now. They're no less just like predominantly white colleges. Depending on what side of things you on, you'll be a minority. So if you're white and you go to an HBCU, you're going for half the cost of a black person because you're a minority there. So don't you dare say it. Never experienced conspiracy theories in the lodge and around other brothers. Hell, we could barely decide on turkey or ham sandwiches after the meeting, let alone trying to rule the world. Right? And most people that I come across with the Masons, the most things they do is have like strip parties and hang out because they got money. They like to throw it. You know what I'm saying? Affordability didn't even exist until Biden's woke scientists started claiming it does. Trump only just invented groceries. Lori Pop, what's going on with you, Lori Pop? Smash that like. How's your day? Who divided America? Smash that like, y'all. King Fire! King Fire, what's up with you, fam? What the Masons really do. Fam, what's up with you with the shapeshifters? The elder shapeshifter. Okay, thanks for that super support, my dude. King Fire, what you doing this weekend? Check, what's going on with you, Check? I'm eating a bowl of cereal, y'all. My fellow Americans, somebody tell me what kind of cereal am I eating? You say you kind of like being a weirdo, Candy. Who wants to be normal, family? Nope. Nope, nuts. Captain Crunch. The killer kind. He said Waffle Crisp. Cookie Crisp was one of my favorites. Cookie Crisp and Corn Pops. The people who initially divided America were liberals who call you names, bully you, and refuse to debate for not agreeing. Only time somebody can bully you, Frankie, if you're afraid of them. Bullying don't work if you're not afraid of them, dude. These are people divided America. Okay, Kenny. So when you go to Japan, did you also go explore all the islands, or you just stay around the base? Japan is also one of my favorite foreign countries too. I like their culture, the ancient culture of Japan. There's a lot of contrast in Japan too. Oh yeah. Also, are you gonna go to where they got that garden where a lot of people commit suicide? You know they got a special forest for that shit. But what you going to Japan for? Habachuko? Well, how would you go? Cannon, when you was in Japan, was they boycotting the Marine base? What's the Marine base there? Okinawa. Do you like the feudal Japan with the samurais or the technology Japan? So Trump is trying to take away health care for people with autism? Mm-hmm. Lori, all these recalls on fruits, vegetables, eggs, start gardening, having your own chicken coops with your chickens for eggs, raising your own chicken with chicken coops. Both methods you won't get sick, right? They got a garlic powder recall now. That shit crazy. Okay. Yeah, I said Japan is dope. Their culture is dope. So I take it both of y'all have read the Book of the Five Rings. Kenny, have you read the Book of the Five Rings? And what about you? Austin Blanc. Oh yeah? What kind of chickens you got? Check. You got Rockinghams? Or you got or do you have any of those black skin chickens? What kind of chickens you got? Rockinghams. Blame it on Trump, right? Oh yeah? What color is your parrot? Okay, Polish Crescent. Okay. Dusky green. Okay, Easter eggs are also called American chickens. Thank you for dropping that on me. We got a lot of people in here that got their own little farms. Stock Family Farm, that's the name. He has chickens too. What kind of dogs are they, Candy? Would you vote for Donald Trump in 2028? Oh yeah, it's all like Blue Jay eggs or something. What color are their eggs? And do y'all think is a difference between brown and white eggs? And if there is, what's the difference? Damn. And did you have this parrot? Steve, did you have that parrot for 42 years? Yeah, whatever Hollywood is talking about is really what's going on. You gotta believe it. You say blue eggs are real cool. Okay. Okay. Your chicken's not to kill with your pet skunk and my pet bull. Okay, that's what it is. Do they live in harmony? Who's the badass on the camp? Don't let me find out. It's the skunk. Who's the badass? God damn. So that bird know all your business, Steve. You know when you got your first piece of pussy and everything, Steve. Steve, that damn bird know all your business. Can he talk? Okay, the skunk badass. But okay, can I ask you this? Is the skunk aware that you are a member of the crew? Is the skunk aware of that? Does he have? I mean, smash that like y'all. Yes, he doesn't spray me that much anymore. He lets me pet him. Okay. The only word he says is agua. Then he just screams and hollers at the rest of the. Damn. So is he like the one that's making noise? People walking past your house and like, what the hell is that going on in there, Steve? I can tell you this about having your own chickens. They are laying your eggs. The eggs taste much better. Wow. Do they even taste remotely like store-bought eggs? It's more. I would take it. They would take more. Taste more sulfury. Backyard chicken eggs. Okay. How long you been having the chickens? You say 20 years. God damn. They thought you was over there killing somebody, Steve. Ain't you from that neighborhood, Steve? They didn't know who you was. They thought you was like the other dude that went to jail. Ain't you from that neighborhood, Steve? Wow. Steve, where you live at, did you grow up in that house? Because you probably got so much memorabilia. 60 of y'all checking this out right now, man. Let's double tap that stream, man. We trying to get the 50 on up to 100 in this live stream today, man. Not me, I'm chill. Chill, family. I've been smoking trees. I mean, that shit always gives you that laid back lethargic. Mm. What's going on with you though behind the seal? I grew up 2 streets over. I've lived in the same neighborhood for 61 years. out of 62. God damn, Steve. Do they look at you as the OG around there? Chilling TMB. What's up with you, fam? I'm just chilling. You know how I do it. I kick back. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, it's cloudy here, 72 degrees. You know what I'm saying? What you getting into today, TMB? Beans and rice. What's up with you? Happy Saturday, fam. What's going on? I was about to go out into the world, man. Try to get something popping, see what's going on. I'm gonna just make for another hot day to go give out that water. It's 72 in Chicago. It's 72 here on the East Coast. And when it was shit 99 the other day, 99 degrees the other day. Heat advisory. I think they were turning the grid on. TMB, what's going on, my brother? Y'all get over there and check TMB out too. Content creator. But you ever thought that those people are not making us go against each other? Some people are willing to do whatever they have to do to get ahead. It rained here 3 days now in the mountains. Wow. Behind the city. Which mountains? You in the Appalachians. Which mountains you in? The Sierra Madres. Smash that like, man. Yeah, I know most of my neighbors, they're all pretty good folk except for that. Which Muslim? And what's he doing, Steve? And is it because he's a Muslim that he's no good or because he's no good in the hood? He's doing shit. Can you explain it to me, Steve? And is he a Muslim American? And what kind of Muslim is he? Let's start there. Smash that like. What kind of Muslim is he, Steve? Meaning, is he Sunni? Is he Shia? Is he Orthodox? Unorthodox? Is he Nation of Islam? Okay, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, Western North Carolina. Okay. Cherokee country. Right outside of Lumberby country. The Blue Ridge, the Smokies, all that stuff. Remember, they was heavily promoting it in the 70s and 80s. The Luray Caverns in Virginia. Remember all that stuff? That you don't hear too much about that stuff now. You don't hear too much about it. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Okay. 17 miles from Cherokee. Okay. Bet you got plenty of cousins over there too. Smash that like. What's the climate like there? What's the big industry in Cherokee right now? If it's not the penitentiaries employing people, what's the big industry that's in y'all area right now behind the seal? Okay, Harris Casino. Is that a Native American establishment? And if so, which what the Cherokees own the Harrah's Casino? Do the Cherokees own that? Steve says he's mean to his kids, beats his wife in the backyard. God bless a couple of us have got on him about that ish. Wow, y'all, yo, Steve, y'all really out here telling a man how to handle his wife, man. So what happens when if that family becomes displaced and they need their bills paid and taking care of. Are you willing to step in? Because when you go messing with a man's family, Steve, that means you willing to take care of that man's family. You understand? That's just how we move in our hood. You know, you said God bless, but you know they got a saying, ain't gonna put nothing on you that you can't handle. So I'm gonna say this: and getting in that man's business with his wife, that's a no-no. Never get in the business with lovers. That's why brothers shouldn't go run behind sisters when they end up getting something happen to them with the boyfriend. Because guess what? The boyfriend or the husband is always gonna be able to get back in there. And with affairs of the heart, they'll never be done with them till they're done with them. How many times you go over there and whoops his ass? She'll bring him back in. But yeah, Steve, he's in the backyard beating his wife. I would say just, let him be. That might be their culture. You know what I'm saying? The dominant and the submissive. A lot of people come from that. But you never answered, what kind of Muslim is he? Is he a Sunni, Shia? What country is he from? Do you perceive him to be Muslim because he's a brown, swarthy, almost, smash that like, y'all. I'm serious. Like, we got to sweep around your own front door, family. Yes, Cherokee owns Harass Management. I think it employs around 2,002. Are all those people Cherokee or just people in the surroundings? Because we getting a casino, but it's owned by the Pamunkey. Smash that like. Any old schoolers, Jazz fans? I am. We just lost legendary sax player Flash Johnson, 94. If you know his music, you would know he played the famous cartoon character Pink Panther. Yup. He was a Miles Davis homeboy too. But yup. Smash that like, y'all. So you're telling me you approve of child abuse and spousal abuse? No, but I ain't got nothing to do with it. It happens. It's not in my approval. It's in just as soon as she's married to him and he's married to her. That's his business. Then your people's ever raised you to what go on in my house, don't go tell nobody, and it shouldn't be nobody's business what happens in their house. You know what I mean? That's people's problems. And she don't want to be saved, Rambo. Mind your own business, says Chet, unless you're willing to handle that man yourself or handle his kids and shit, because you go over there telling him what not to do, and then he leaves that motherfucker feeling threatened by y'all, and then who gonna take care of that family? Not you. You'll be looking over there now saying they need to go. Peace is why we are divided. When America has a common enemy to hate, it don't matter much about our differences since we have been at peace essentially for many years. When have you been at peace though, Daniel? Barton? Not a lot of out-of-staters come to work from other casinos. Used to be mostly Cherokee 20 years ago, but they got checked, so they don't want to work no more. That money done got down stacked up. I haven't been on the Cherokee Reds as of late. Is it in despair? How does the Cherokee Reds look? Do it even look comparable to like a Charlotte or a Raleigh, where it is a lot of technology and up to date, or is it still behind times? Because a lot of times y'all don't know that we have reservation cities in our country that is not on the map. You know what I mean? Because it's not incorporated with the United States system. We ride right past cities and all kind of shit every day, especially when we out in open land in America. There's so much going on. What does that mean? He's going to end up disappearing? Are the people in the neighborhood calling child services on him because he's a Muslim? Do you think he's getting all this flack because he's a Muslim? I know there's a certain amount of Islamophobia in America right now. Y'all do realize that, right? Yep, Rambo, true indeed. But like being in somebody's business, Steve, that's what I'm saying. Like, in my culture, we have a saying, I mean, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around nines. And that's just it is what it is. No matter what's going on there, that's his right. If he's the man of that house, shit, I can't tell him how to run his family. You know what I'm saying? You think don't do it. You said just make the 911 call. He already said, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just telling you what kind of man he is. And yes, the police have been over there time and time again. It's growing with the casino money now. Police department, new fire stations, new schools. Just opened a dispensary, but you can only buy and use on the rest. Okay, so they are engaging in a nation. Do the Cherokee have more than one city that's in different states, but all are incorporated under the banner of being unincorporated, being a sovereign state? I remember at one time, because we didn't really know too much about our heritages and stuff, everybody that's Native American claimed to be a Cherokee. Okay, so they got cities in North Carolina and they got cities in Oklahoma. Are all of them linked together? Because Oklahoma is just where they transported a lot of natives on the East Coast, and they call it that Trail of Tears with Chief Joseph. That's not their original, I mean, homelands. Right, Chief Joseph. But a lot of that stuff, man, they're not gonna really tell you the real on that. To a certain extent, I'm gonna tell you this: 75% of the people that was on the Trail of Tears was of the black culture, and a lot of them came from Florida by way of the Seminoles and the Muskogee. But they'll have you claiming it was a freedman and they were slaves. No, I don't believe it, because that's where the $5 Indian and the justification of the $5 Indian comes into play. Because now they don't we don't it ain't even such thing as $5 Indian these days. It's $5 Americans. It's the $50,000 Americans. Okay, that's a good one. We used to have the $5 Indians. Now we got the $50,000 Americans that they can buy their way here. Yeah. Well, it was a whole conglomerate. It was the whole East Coast. That's why you don't find name a few tribes that's up north besides what the Oneida, the Ojibwa, the Iroquois. Because that was all part of the systematic plan to change a certain set of people's name. By changing that name, the whole existence got erased. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Shout out everybody coming through, man. What's going on with y'all today? Shout out Ian for that super support, and also my man Ace. That's what it is. And Tony just dropped some coins on the mob. That's what it is, Tony Farrell. Salute for that super support, Tony. I gotta put a jacket on you too, because you're always in here politicking too. Greatly appreciate it though for your super support. But yeah, this shit crazy, man. Behind the lens, behind the what? Can you explain that name behind the seal? We have the Cherokee, the Lumberby, and the Catawba, all within 4 hours of here. Okay, the Lumberby too. You know that Donald Trump have just federally recognized the Lumberby to be Native Americans, and they come in all colors too. They flags denotes it. Have you ever came across any of the Yamakra or the Yamasi in South Carolina? You know they got the Yamasi, and then the Yamasi stretch from North Carolina all the way down to the Everglades. Smash that like, y'all. We got the Lenape, the Pamunkey, the Pamunkey are the ones that they took the Pocahontas story from. The shit, we got a couple of them. The Seneca, um, smash that like, y'all. Who divided America is the topic. Anybody got any answers? And once again, Tony Farrell, thanks for that super support, Tony. Coincidentally, Tulsa, Oklahoma, is known for its huge amount of Native Americans, and they also are known for independent black people. Coincidentally, remember Black Wall Street? One of the Black Wall Streets had its it was there. It made its demise, but they also had a Black Wall Street in North Carolina. Had a bunch of Black Wall Streets. Wilmington, North Carolina, matter of fact, Wilmington was an amazing area for black people after the Civil War. They passed a law after they got the black people out of there that said they would never be governed by a black person again in that part of North Carolina. Smash that like, y'all. Hey, behind the seal, you ever run across any Mingos? What you know about the Mingos? America's deepest division revealed. Who divided America, y'all, was the Jew. Well, yeah, they say that no, they say that the settlers from the Roanoke joint, they wrote Croatan. Yeah, they settled with the Lumberby. That's why they come in all different colors, as well as the black natives that was in the Dismal Swamp mixed in with the Lumbies. Yep, the Crotans. But what's so crazy is they knew that they were there all along when they found that when they finally came up with the hypothesis. What happened to them? They said that they was like a couple of miles up the river with the Indians, with the natives, and that's crazy. Yeah, my people's from the Dismal Swamp, man. Bear Quarter. My people's from Bear Quarter in the Dismal Swamp, family. Smash that like, y'all. 5 of y'all in here, man. Let's get them likes up. Right. The Dismal Swamp, Virginia. But all that stuff dealing with the the first European settlers, like the them people, it's all muddled in superstition and folklore. So we'll never get down to really what happened with none of it. Even when you deal with John Smith and John Rolfe and the Pocahontas theory, all that stuff is muddled in mythology down there, family. They still haven't explained to me how did a black man, not an African, a black man have placement to buy two Africans in the Americas. He was the first person to buy two Africans. Not another African, but a black man. You know what I'm saying? Anthony, John's son. You feel me? Who was John? You know what I'm saying? Smash that like and share me out. Would you consider yourself a MAGA behind the seal? Because you right there in MAGA country too. You in MAGA redneck country. Would you consider yourself MAGA? Right. Right. And just so happened Casper the Friendly Ghost. Okay, you're liberal. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Would you consider yourself any kin to the Melungians? Smash that like, y'all. Who divided America, man? Who divided America? If you just came in, double tap that stream and take a poke at that. Who divided America? Are y'all taking the poll? Let's look at the poll right quick. Okay. Let's say Abraham Lincoln maybe have been a Melungian. Who divided America? Trump, MAGA, and Republicans, 45%. Obama, the Dems, and the LGBTQ+, 24%. Left, right, radicals, media, 18%. My fellow Americans, 13%. Okay, make sure y'all taking the poll, fam. Maybe Elvis Presley might have been a Melungian. Okay, not left or right. Okay. What's the most thing that you stand on? What's the one thing that you stand on that is not a deal breaker? I mean, that's a deal breaker. Being a choosy lover, you better hold on to your what y'all been listening to, man, by way of music lately, man? Smash that like. Who divided America, man? Exactly, behind the seal. Damn, I forgot totally what I was about to go do. I'm okay with anyone. Obama. Tony, you say Obama did it. And you notice you don't hear nothing else about that shit now that Donald Trump in office. Donald Trump did come in. You don't hear no men marry men and women marry women right now, man. That's crazy. Donald Trump came in and he got people back. Because when Obama and them was in power, You could not say nothing about anybody that was LGB. If you did, they put your ass in timeout. Anybody who said anything about goddamn that shit was crazy, man. Anybody who said something about the LGBT. Yeah, I gotta get back out there with that cold water too. It just ain't been hot enough for it. But I don't see no wrong with them allowing those people to link their, because they're gonna do it anyway. It's just making it a little bit more legal on the legal aspect of things. I did not agree with them having people reading to my kids dressed like women, men. Now, a lot of obscurity snuck in with the, everything wasn't bullshit, but a lot of obscurity snuck in with them Democrats. And all the motherfucking Archie Bunker people came out of the woodworks. Some people that were Democrats was not even with that shit. Like, hold on. That's how Trump got in. He got in playing off of Democratic and Republican fears as Americans. A lot of them got the same fears, and he tapped into them. And now look, we at war. Seemingly some of these kids might get drafted. And that's crazy. A lot of y'all voted for Donald Trump off of that he was not gonna go to war. We're a free country, but have too many laws to be truly free. I think everyone has divided the country since before the Revolutionary War, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, when Bacon's Rebellion and the Stonewall Rebellion, Bacon's Rebellion and Stonewall Rebellion is when they separated Irish people from black people. At one time, they both was the same, to be honest. And both of them held a certain, like a indentured servant type of status. And then it just went from the Irish would be indentured servants and the black people will be forever in servitude. The Lumberby was said to be the early settlers of Roanoke mixed with Croatan, right? I read that a while back. Steve says, what time do you think they should, what laws do you think they should abolish? They should make it federal that if you get a felony, you should be immediately brought back into society. Nothing should hold the felony back from engaging back into the world once he finishes his sentence. I would abolish that law. You know, the law that says because you're a felony in some states, because under the federal, you can work for a federal if you're a felony. But states, I would say all states, you say marijuana laws are stupid if you allow alcohol, right? Well, marijuana laws were no less like Jim Crow laws back in the day. They were meant to target a certain demographic. Whoever seen Reefer Madness, remember the movie Reefer Madness? Smash that like, y'all. Yeah, remember people used to just grow that shit, Tony. Right. But you know what, anything, that's what to be the hold up until they can properly regulate the taxes on something. That's why prostitution ain't legal yet. That fentanyl is killing folks. Crazy. I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. I'm gonna come back with a different title, man. I gotta see what's popping in the news, man. Thanks for everybody coming through. All right, Steve. All right, behind the seal.